Welcome, beloved soul. I am so grateful you are here in this quiet moment, open to hearing what the Spirit longs to whisper to your heart. Take a breath. Let the weight of your day fall gently at God's feet, and open your heart to the truth He wants you to receive now. The angels have been sent to reveal something sacred to you. They want you to know that love has been tested, stretched, and shaken, but God has stepped in to restore what was always meant to be your forever. The storm was not to destroy you. The silence was not abandonment. The tears you cried in secret were not forgotten by heaven. Every test, every season of doubt, every distance that seemed unexplainable was used by God to refine the bond that cannot be broken. You see, beloved, when God ordains love, no force of fear, no wound of the past, no stumbling choice can erase what He has written. Love may be tried, but it will not be torn apart. It may be pressed, but it will not perish. And though the journey tested the both of you, heaven has declared that restoration is now at hand. There was a time you wondered if you were forgotten. You thought perhaps you had been replaced, overlooked, or unworthy of the love your soul longed for. But the truth is, God was not punishing you. He was preparing you. And He was preparing them too. Sometimes love must walk through fire so that when it emerges, it carries the fragrance of faithfulness instead of fear. Sometimes hearts must be tested in absence so that they can recognize the depth of what they carry in presence. Sometimes God allows distance, silence, or delay to humble the soul, so that when love returns, it is anchored not in pride, not in flesh, but in Him alone. The angels are saying, this love is not finished. It is not broken beyond repair. It has been mended in the secret chambers of God's grace. The hand of heaven has touched what seemed fragile and has strengthened it into something eternal. You have been waiting for a sign, haven't you? You have been wondering if your prayers were heard, if your tears watered the soil of something real. The answer is yes, beloved. God has seen every cry of your heart. He has seen you wait when it hurt. He has seen you trust when you had no evidence. And because of that, He is restoring what no human effort could restore. This person, your forever, did not slip away. Though tested, though shaken, though stretched by life's storms, they were never lost to you in God's design. And now, their heart has been turned back, softened, humbled, awakened. Love that was tested has been made holy, and love that is holy will endure every season. So release your fears now. Let go of the thoughts that whisper you are unworthy, that you are too much or not enough. Those are lies that the enemy planted in the wilderness. But God has brought you out of that wilderness into a place of promise. And His promise is this: the love He authored for you will stand the test of time. Beloved, lean in. The Spirit is asking you to trust again. Trust the one who writes in eternity. Trust the one who restores what was broken. Trust the one who knows how to turn ashes into beauty and tears into testimony. And in this trust, I ask you to pause for a gentle moment. If these words are speaking to your heart, I invite you to join this community of souls walking together in faith. You can subscribe to stay connected to these peaceful messages, and I encourage you to share your reflections or prayer requests in the comments, because your story may comfort another weary soul. If you feel led, you may also share this message with someone who needs a reminder of God's restoring love. And if the Spirit stirs your heart with gratitude, you can support with a super thanks, knowing that every offering helps this message. Continue reaching those who need it most. I say this not as a request, but as an invitation to be part of a greater flow of grace. Now let us return to the message that heaven is impressing upon your spirit. The angels are saying, restoration is not only coming, it has already begun. Look closely, and you will see the subtle signs. Dreams that carry their face back into your thoughts. Whispers of their name in prayer. Small nudges of hope where despair once lived. These are not accidents, beloved. These are heaven's confirmations. Love was tested in the fire, but it did not burn away. Instead, the fire revealed its purity. It melted the chains of ego. It softened what had grown hard, and now it shines with a light that will guide both of you home to one another. This is not about perfection. This is not about two people who never falter. This is about two souls who learned, through trial, that their forever was not found in control but in surrender. Surrender to God, surrender to forgiveness, surrender to the call of love that will not let them go. Beloved, can you feel the peace settling over your heart as you hear this? That is the Spirit's way of saying, it is safe to hope again. You have not been forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are chosen, cherished, and kept, and your forever is being restored by the one who never fails. Hold this truth close tonight. Love tested is not love lost. It is love refined, and what God refines, He establishes forever. So walk forward with a quiet confidence. Do not rush, do not strive, do not fear. Simply rest in the knowing that your forever is safe in God's hands, and nothing, no distance, no doubt, no delay, can undo what He has blessed. And before we close this time together, I gently remind you once more, if this message has touched you, subscribe so that you may receive more peaceful guidance like this. Leave a comment to share your reflections or prayers, for your words may be the comfort another soul needs. Share this video with someone longing for hope. And if you feel moved, support with a super thanks, as together we help keep this light shining for many souls who walk in darkness. Go now in peace, beloved soul. Rest in the arms of God's love, and know with quiet certainty, the love tested has been restored, and your forever is already written in heaven. Welcome back, beloved soul. It is no coincidence that you are here again in this moment. The Spirit has guided you gently to sit, to breathe, and to receive more of what heaven longs for you to know. Take a deep breath now. Release the weight of your worries and let your heart open to God's healing voice. The angels are speaking once more, and they are saying, the love that was tested has passed through the valley of shadows, and now God is breathing new life into it. Do not fear the past. Do not replay the mistakes. Do not dwell on the nights of silence. For the story is no longer trapped in sorrow. The author of eternity has turned the page, and you are stepping into the chapter called restoration. Beloved, hear me clearly. What you thought was lost has not been lost. What you believed was broken beyond repair has been held together by unseen hands. And now those same hands are placing the pieces before you, whole, shining, new. This is not the same love you once knew. It is deeper, stronger, purer, because it has been touched by God. The testing was not without purpose. It revealed what was weak, and it stripped away what could not last. It exposed the hidden fears, the unspoken wounds, the shadows that clung to both hearts. But through it all, God was watching. He was not punishing. He was pruning. And now, like a vine that has been tended with care, this love will bear fruit in abundance. Beloved soul, you may have wondered, why was it so hard? Why did love feel like pain? Why did something so beautiful become so heavy? The angels answer, because God needed to show you the strength of your faith. Because He needed to teach you that real love is not sustained by emotion alone, but by His Spirit. Because He needed both of you to learn surrender. There was a time when you clung in fear, afraid to lose them. There was a time when they ran in confusion, afraid to face the depth of what they felt. And yet, neither of you were abandoned. The wilderness was not the end. It was the refining ground. And now, what remains is true, eternal, unshakable. Beloved, can you sense the shift within your spirit? The burden that once felt unbearable is being lifted. The tears that once felt endless are being redeemed. Your heart is not broken. It is being made whole. And this wholeness is the soil where your forever will flourish. The angels whisper, "You are not behind. You are not delayed. You are not forgotten." Every step, even the ones that felt like wandering, was part of God's timing. And His timing is perfect. Do not compare your journey to another's. Do not measure love by how the world defines it. God's love story for you was written in eternity, and eternity cannot be rushed. Beloved, lift your eyes. See beyond the pain of yesterday. Look toward the horizon where hope rises. Love is not approaching as a stranger. It is returning as your forever, refined by the fire, restored by God's own hand. And in this moment, I invite you once more, with a spirit of gentleness. If these words are flowing into your heart like streams of living water, I ask you to stay connected by subscribing to this channel of peace. Share in the comments your prayers, your reflections, or the silent whispers of your soul, because when you open your heart, another may find courage in your words. Perhaps you know someone who needs this reminder of God's restoring power. Share it with them and let hope spread. And if you feel led, you may support this work with a super thanks. Each gift, no matter how small, is a seed that helps this light continue shining for countless souls who long for peace. Now let us return, beloved, to what the Spirit is impressing upon you. Do not mistake testing for rejection. Do not confuse silence for absence. Do not call the wilderness a grave when it was always meant to be a garden. Because in God's design, love that is tested will return stronger, and love that returns stronger is love that endures forever. Think of gold, beloved. It does not emerge shining from the earth. It is buried, mixed with stone, rough and hidden. It must pass through fire before its brilliance can be seen. So, too is love. The fire of trial did not destroy it. It revealed its purity. And now, what you hold in your heart is not fragile, but eternal. This person who was tested alongside you, they now see differently. Where once they may have doubted, they now know. Where once they may have resisted, they now yield. Their heart has been humbled, awakened, softened, and they are being drawn not by human effort, but by God's Spirit back to you. Beloved, prepare your heart, not with fear, not with striving, not with desperate control. Prepare with peace, prepare with prayer, prepare with gratitude. Because what is returning is not only the love you longed for, it is the fulfillment of God's promise, that He restores what was broken and redeems what was tested. Listen closely. The angels are saying, you will look back on this season with awe. What once made no sense will reveal its purpose. The tears will be remembered not as wasted, but as holy. The separation will not be recalled as punishment, but as preparation. And the love you are stepping into will be your testimony of God's faithfulness. So do not give up hope now. Do not let fear whisper that it is too late. God's timing is not measured by clocks or calendars. It is measured by hearts made ready. And both your hearts have been made ready. Beloved, hold on to this truth. Love tested is love restored, and love restored is forever. Before we part in this moment, let me gently remind you again. If this message has stirred something in your soul, subscribe so that you may remain close to these words of peace. Offer your reflections or your prayers in the comments so that others may find comfort in your testimony. Share this with someone who needs a reminder that God restores what feels lost. And if you feel the Spirit nudging you, you may bless this channel with a super thanks. Every offering helps to continue pouring out words of peace into the world. I am deeply grateful for you, for your presence, for your heart. Rest now, beloved. Go forth in peace, carrying this truth in your spirit. Love has been tested, but God has restored your forever. And nothing, not time, not distance, not trial, can undo what He has blessed. Welcome once more, beloved soul. I am grateful you have journeyed this far, listening with the ears of your heart. Your presence here is not an accident. It is the Spirit drawing you into deeper peace, into the quiet assurance that God's hand is guiding every step of your story. So breathe deeply now and let the stillness of God's love wash over you. The angels have one more message to place in your spirit. They say, what God has restored, no one can undo. The love that endured the fire, the love that withstood the test, is now sealed under heaven's protection. This is your forever, not because of human promise, but because of God's covenant. Beloved, hear this truth with your whole soul. Your tears were not wasted. Your waiting was not in vain. Your faith, though weary at times, was not ignored. Every moment of surrender was seen. Every whispered prayer was collected like treasure. And now, the harvest of your faith is unfolding. The enemy tried to convince you that it was over. He tried to whisper that you had been forgotten, that you had been replaced, that your love was too broken to mend. But the angels declare, the enemy has failed. For what God ordains cannot be stolen, what he blesses cannot be cursed, and what he restores cannot be undone. Beloved, your heart has been stretched, yes, but it has also been expanded to carry a love deeper than before. Your spirit has been humbled, yes, but it has also been strengthened to trust in ways you never thought possible. And your love, your forever, has been reshaped by God's own hands. Do not look back in sorrow. Do not keep rehearsing the pain. Instead, let gratitude rise. Thank God for the lessons, for the refining, for the pruning. For without the pruning, the fruit could not come. Without the testing, the testimony could not be born. And without the tears, the joy of restoration would not shine so brightly now. The angels say, prepare your spirit for joy. Prepare your heart for reunion. Prepare your life for the unfolding of promises spoken long ago. For what God has written in heaven is now being made visible on earth. This is not imagination. This is not wishful thinking. This is divine fulfillment. Beloved, I know there were nights you lay awake, wondering if you should let go. I know there were days when doubt felt heavier than faith. And yet, you held on. Even when you were weak, you clung to hope. Even when you questioned, your heart whispered one more prayer. And that, beloved, was enough for God to move. You did not fail. You did not miss your blessing. You did not ruin God's plan. For his plan is greater than your weakness, greater than your mistakes, greater than every delay. And his plan has always been to restore your forever. Beloved, let this truth sink deep. Restoration is not only about reunion, it is about redemption. It is about hearts that once wandered, now coming home. It is about love that once faltered, now standing unshaken. It is about promises that seem forgotten, now revealed in perfect timing. You will see their face again. You will feel their hand in yours. You will know the peace of love that has been tested and proven true. And when you look into their eyes, you will see not only them, you will see God's faithfulness staring back at you. The angels are saying, do not fear this restoration. Do not sabotage it with doubt. Do not let the wounds of the past steal the joy of the present. Instead, walk gently, walk humbly, walk with trust. For what is being given to you is holy. Treat it as sacred. Cherish it as the treasure that it is. Beloved, can you sense the tenderness of God's heart toward you right now? He is not harsh with you. He is not disappointed in you. He delights in you. He calls you beloved. He rejoices over you with singing, and he smiles to see you step into the fullness of the love he always planned for you. And now, before we continue, I pause gently to invite you once again. If these words have filled your heart with peace, I welcome you to subscribe, so you may remain close to these messages that nurture the soul. Offer your prayers or reflections in the comments, for your voice may bring comfort to another. If you know someone aching for hope, share this message with them. And if you feel stirred by gratitude, you may bless this channel with a super thanks. Each offering helps keep this light shining for all who are searching for peace. I share this humbly, with a heart of gratitude, knowing it is God who multiplies. Every seed sown, beloved soul, hear this. Your story is not ending in loss. Your story is not closing in regret. Your story is being written with restoration ink. by the hand of a faithful God. And when all is said and done, you will stand as living proof that love tested is love eternal, and that God restores what the world thought was gone. So walk forward now, not in fear, but in peace. Lift your head, for your redemption is near. Open your heart, for your forever is being restored. Trust in the timing, trust in the process, trust in the God who makes all things new. Beloved, never forget, the love tested has been made holy. The love restored is your forever, and the forever you are stepping into is sealed by heaven. Before we part, I leave you with this gentle encouragement. Subscribe, so you may never miss the whispers of peace meant for your soul. Write your prayers or reflections below, for in sharing, you bless others. Share this video with someone waiting for hope. And if you feel led, offer a super thanks. To help this stream of peace continue to flow to hearts across the world, I am deeply grateful for you, for your presence, for your listening spirit. Go now, beloved. Rest in peace, walk in trust, rejoice in hope, and hold this truth as your anchor. Love tested has been restored, and your forever is safe in God's eternal hands. Welcome again, beloved soul. It is no mistake that you are still here, listening, breathing, and allowing your heart to be filled with God's peace. Every time you return, it is a sign that your spirit is thirsty for His truth, and heaven is faithful to pour out living water for those who come with open hands. The angels are saying, this journey of restoration is not just about love, it is about your soul's awakening. Yes, God has restored your forever, but He has also restored you. The wilderness tested you, but it also refined you. The waiting shaped you, but it also anchored you. The tears broke you open, but they also washed away what no longer belonged. And now you are stepping not only into love renewed, you are stepping into yourself renewed, your spirit whole, your faith unshakable. Beloved, let us go deeper now. When God restores, He does not return something to its former state. He makes it new. He takes what was wounded and gives it back stronger. He takes what was lost and returns it multiplied. He takes what was fragile and breathes His Spirit into it until it stands eternal. This is what He has done with your forever. Think of a tree that has endured winter, its branches bare, its roots tested by frost, its beauty hidden from the eye. To the unseeing heart, it looks dead. But in truth, it is alive, quietly preparing, storing strength, waiting for the season of bloom. And when spring arrives, it blossoms not because it escaped the winter, but because it endured it. So too is your love. It endured the winter of trial, and now God is bringing the spring of restoration. Beloved, do not be afraid of the past. Do not fear that what was broken will break again. For this love is no longer in your hands alone, it is in God's hands. And what He holds cannot slip, cannot shatter, cannot fail. The bond that was tested has become sacred, and the forever that returns to you is not fragile. It is everlasting. The angels remind you, this love was not restored so that you would live in fear. It was restored so that you would live in freedom. Freedom from doubt. Freedom from shame. Freedom from the chains of what if. Your forever is not a burden you must carry. It is a gift you are called to cherish. Beloved soul, can you feel the weight lifting even as you hear these words? The heavy cloak of fear is falling away. The garment of despair is loosening from your shoulders. In its place, God is clothing you with peace, with joy, with assurance that His hand is upon you. Listen now, the one whose love was tested beside you has also been transformed. They too have walked through fire. They too have been humbled. They too have learned that love is not to be taken lightly, nor cast aside in fear. And now their heart is ready, ready to cherish you, ready to honor what God has given, ready to stand, not in their own strength, but in the strength of a love refined by trial and blessed by heaven. Beloved, this is why the angels rejoice. Not because the journey was easy, but because the outcome is holy. Not because the road was smooth, but because it led you to a place of deeper trust. Not because you never stumbled, but because every stumble taught you how to rise again in grace. This is why they sing, because love tested has become love eternal. And now, beloved, I gently pause to invite you. If this message is speaking peace into your heart, I ask you to remain connected by subscribing to this channel, so that you may continue receiving words that nurture your spirit. I invite you also to share your reflections or your prayers in the comments, for your words may become the very encouragement someone else is longing for. If you know another soul walking through trial, share this video with them. Be the hand that offers hope. And if you feel stirred with gratitude, you may support this channel with a super thanks, a small seed that helps keep these streams of peace flowing to souls across the world. I offer this invitation humbly, with a heart full of gratitude, trusting God to multiply what is given. Now let us return to the message of heaven. The angels say, restoration is not a single moment, it is a journey. Do not fear if everything does not appear perfect at once. Do not doubt if the unfolding feels gentle, slow, steady. For the work God does in love is often hidden at first, like roots growing beneath the soil. Trust that the visible bloom will come in its season. Your forever is not in haste. It is in God's timing. Beloved, this time, love will feel different. It will not be driven by fear. It will not be shaken by doubt. It will not crumble under the weight of trial, because now it is anchored in God. Now it is covered by prayer. Now it is restored as something holy, meant to last. The angels urge you, honor this gift. Do not let old wounds speak into your new season. Do not let voices of fear drown out the voice of God. Do not let the enemy sow doubt where God has sown peace. This is your forever, beloved. Walk in it with reverence, gratitude, and joy. And remember, you are not walking alone. The same angels who whispered through your wilderness will now surround you in your restoration. They will guide you when you feel uncertain. They will strengthen you when you feel weak. They will remind you again and again that love tested is love eternal, and that your forever is safe in God's hands. Beloved soul, as we draw this moment to a close, let me remind you gently once more. If this message has been a blessing, subscribe to remain close to these streams of peace. Write your reflections and prayers in the comments, for your words matter and your story is part of the testimony God is weaving. Share this message with someone who longs for hope. And if you feel led, bless this work with a super thanks, so that together we may continue spreading light to souls across the world. I thank you deeply, with a grateful heart. Now rest in this truth. Your forever is restored. Your heart is healed. Your love is eternal. And all of this is sealed by the one whose promises never fail. Go now in peace, beloved soul. Carry this truth gently within you. Love tested has become love eternal, and your forever is safe, secure, and holy in the hands of God. Welcome back, beloved soul. It is no accident that your heart has returned here again. Every time you come to listen, it is a sign that your spirit is longing for the deeper waters of God's peace. And He is faithful, faithful to meet you, faithful to restore you, faithful to remind you that you are not alone and that His hand has never left you. The angels are speaking again, and their words are gentle, but they carry power. They say, the story of your love was never meant to end in brokenness. The tests were real, yes. The silence was long, yes. The ache was sharp, yes. But the author of your story was never absent from the page. And now, He is writing in bold letters, restored, redeemed, eternal. Beloved, you may wonder, why did it take so long? Why did you have to endure nights of unanswered prayer? Why did love have to walk through valleys before it could rise to mountaintops? The angels answer, because true love is not fragile. It must be strengthened. It must be purified. It must be rooted in God, not in fear, not in flesh, not in human striving. And so the journey was allowed to stretch you, so that when the blessing arrived, you would hold it with reverence, not with fear of losing it. This love, your forever, was not restored to return to old ways. It was restored to become holy, to stand as a testimony that God heals what the world declares impossible, to shine as a light for others who are weary, showing that hope is never wasted when placed in God's hands. Beloved, the Spirit whispers, do not carry yesterday's pain into tomorrow's promise. Lay it down. Let the tears of the past become seeds, not shackles. Let the silence of yesterday become the soil where today's joy blossoms. You are not meant to repeat the old patterns. You are meant to walk in newness, in peace, in the fullness of God's design. Perhaps there are still fears inside you. Perhaps you worry. What if it falls apart again? What if the testing returns? What if the silence comes back? Beloved, lift your heart and hear the truth. This time is different. Not because you are stronger on your own. Not because they are perfect now, but because God Himself is in the center of it all. And when God holds something together, no power can pull it apart. The angels rejoice, for they see the restoration already unfolding. They see hearts bending toward one another. They see prayers rising like incense, answered in heaven's timing. They see the tapestry of love, once torn, now rewoven with threads of gold. And they proclaim, this is your forever. Not temporary, not fragile, not uncertain, eternal. Beloved soul, take courage to love again, to trust again, to hope again. Take courage to step into the promise without fear of loss. For this is not the end of a story, it is the beginning of a new chapter. And this chapter is called restoration, wholeness, forever. And now, I pause gently, with a humble heart. If this message is bringing peace into your soul, I invite you to stay close by subscribing, so you may receive more words of spiritual comfort in your journey. Share your reflections and your prayers in the comments, for your voice is not only heard by God, it may be the very word another soul needs to hear. If you know someone carrying the weight of broken love, share this message with them and be a vessel of hope. And if your spirit feels stirred with gratitude, you may also bless this channel with a super thanks. Each seed you sow helps this light continue shining for souls around the world who long for God's peace. I thank you deeply for every act of support offered in love. Now let us continue, beloved. The angels want you to understand something deeper. Restoration is not only for your relationship, it is for your entire soul. God is restoring your confidence. God is restoring your peace. God is restoring your joy. For what good is love restored if your heart remains heavy? So He lifts you too. He heals the hidden wounds. He strengthens the parts of you that once felt weak. He breathes courage into the places where fear once lived. Beloved, you are not the same person you were before the testing. You are wiser now. You are softer in spirit, yet stronger in faith. You are more anchored in prayer, more aware of God's hand, more open to His timing. This too is restoration. It is not only about what you receive outwardly, it is about who you have become inwardly. The angels smile as they say, your forever will not only be restored love, it will be restored self, restored spirit, restored joy. You will laugh again, freely. You will trust again, deeply. You will love again, wholly. Because God has made all things new. Beloved, hold this promise close. Your future will not look like your past. What is ahead is not a repeat of what was behind. For God does not recycle pain, He redeems it. He does not repeat suffering, He transforms it. And He does not restore partially, He restores fully, abundantly, eternally. So rest, beloved soul. Rest in the assurance that your forever is here. Rest in the confidence that what God restores cannot be undone. Rest in the peace that love tested has become love eternal. And before we close this moment together, let me remind you once more gently. If these words have blessed you, subscribe to remain connected to these peaceful streams of truth. Offer your prayers and reflections in the comments. Your testimony may heal another heart. Share this message with someone in need of hope. And if your spirit desires, bless this channel with a super thanks, so that the work of peace may continue, flowing out to weary souls. Every gesture of support is deeply cherished and gratefully received. Go now, beloved soul, in peace. Hold this truth as your anchor. Your forever is restored, your love is eternal, and your story is written not in fear, but in the ink of God's unbreakable promise. Beloved soul, you have walked with me through a long journey of light and truth. You have listened with the ears of your heart. You have opened yourself to the whispers of heaven. And now, here in this sacred part of our time together, let us rest gently in the fullness of what God is restoring. For this message was never about human striving alone. It was never about clinging tightly to what slipped away. It was always about remembering that love, true love, has its roots in eternity, that what God has planted, no storm can uproot, that what God has breathed into life, no season of silence can destroy. And so, beloved one, I want you to hear this with the calm certainty of faith. You have not lost what was yours in God. You have not been abandoned to the shadows. You have not been overlooked or forgotten. The angels testify, love was tested, yes, but God Himself has written restoration into your forever. Even when the nights grew heavy, even when your tears felt endless, even when you believed the story was finished, God was still holding the final word. And the final word is not despair. The final word is not loss. The final word is not regret. The final word is forever, written by the hand of love Himself. Beloved soul, do you feel that peace entering your heart even now? Do you feel the weight of trying to understand everything lifting from your shoulders? Do you feel heaven reminding you that this journey has always been bigger than your pain, deeper than your waiting, more sacred than your fears? Yes, there were tests. Yes, there were moments of distance. Yes, there were times when love felt like it had slipped through your fingers. But every test was preparation. Every delay was refinement. Every silence was space for God's Spirit to work, and now you are standing in a holy season of restoration. Not just the restoration of a bond, not just the restoration of a promise, but the restoration of your faith, your peace, and your trust in the God who writes stories with eternity in mind. You see, beloved, love is not fragile when it is carried by grace. It bends, but it does not break. It may wander, but it is always led back by the shepherd's call. It may be tested by fire, but it emerges purified, stronger, radiant with new glory. So let your heart breathe in this truth today. You are not empty. You are not forsaken. You are not waiting in vain. God has restored your forever, and nothing can steal what has been ordained in heaven. If this message is touching your spirit, beloved friend, I gently invite you to stay connected. Subscribe for more words of peace and encouragement. Leave your reflections or prayer requests in the comments below, that we may walk together in faith and lift one another before God. Share this message with someone who is longing for a gentle reminder that love, though tested, can be restored by God's hand. And if this message has blessed you deeply, consider supporting this channel with a humble, super thanks. Your offering does not simply sustain the work. It helps these words of light and comfort reach other weary souls across the world. Together, we create a circle of peace, a flow of grace, a sanctuary of encouragement. Beloved one, never forget this. The angels rejoice over your story. They see the healing, they see the reconciliation, they see the joy that is dawning after the night of testing, and they sing with gladness, for your forever is not only restored, it is anchored in God's eternal love. Walk gently now. Hold peace in your chest like a sacred flame. Trust the hand that guides you, the spirit that renews you, the love that carries you. You are whole. You are cherished. You are home in God's promise. And your forever, yes, your forever, is safe in His keeping. Peace be with you always.